Right, so I'm here with Matthew, otherwise known as Mills. And he's one of my clients. He's been a client since when, Matthew?
August 22nd.
August 22nd. And we met how?
We actually met through YouTube. I clicked on one of your advertisements on YouTube, and you called me almost immediately.
Okay, cool.
We started chatting from there.
That's efficient. So that's okay. So let's have a look at your account. But are you happy so far? So you've been a client since October. So November, December, January.
Yeah, so actually August. I started with a $1,000 account.
August.
Just to test the waters. August, and then
So it's 5 months.
Yeah, and then up the accounts from October the 30th.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So let's go to your what is it? Your FX Blue.
Cool.
Okay, so let's open FX Blue. Okay, just scroll up and let's have a look at your client.
On your side or open on mine?
Yeah, no, it's yours. Just scroll up to the top. Okay, so this is your account. So we're doing this through AnyDesk, right? Okay, so you've got
10,000.
is it $10,000? Okay, so this is a cent account. So
Yeah.
it's $10,000 in here. It's a nice size account. Your floating is $1,498.
Yeah.
That's how much you've got in trading, which is about 14%. So let's go scroll down a bit if you can. Okay, so the total return on investment you've made is 64.9%.
That's correct.
With an average of 9.9% profit. That's your average.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit below the average because we normally work on between 14 and 30%. Would you say you're conservative with your account?
Yeah, I am quite conservative,
Okay.
and particularly also with my trading times. If I feel that the market structure isn't quite right, then I'll either tone gold down substantially, or I actually will refrain from trading. I do that more for psychology reasons.
Okay, that's a good idea. Is that more on gold or is that for all your pairs?
Yeah, that's more on gold. I've actually, from around mid-November, I started closing off all the Forex pairs and focusing exclusively on gold.
Okay.
I've started again with Forex using a new strategy that we've obviously been discussing in our groups, which has been immensely helpful. Sort of our mastermind groups that we've been part of as one of your clients.
Right. Okay. And let me just put that over there so that people can see what's going on. Okay. So are you enjoying the mastermind groups? Because that is, I would say, worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, and I think that's, with anybody that's doing this, you get in, you get out what you put in, essentially. If you're looking for a completely sort of passive outlook, which doesn't really exist, then you're looking at your 10 to 15% a year if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
I kind of treat this less as an investment and more as a business. So I look at it as a business that's trading, could be a goods or services. So I look at the amount of capital as my working capital in the market, and I'm a little bit more active, even though I don't take as much risk. I'm still looking at it as quite a hands-on process for myself because I like to optimize it. I want to get to the point where I'm comfortably doing 20% and really optimizing things without taking too much risk.
So when you talk about optimizing and treating it like a business, so how much time per day or per month do you spend setting up the robot or changing settings on the robot?
I'm active probably 3 to 4 hours a day. That's actually looking at the screen.
That's different. That's different. That's just watching the robot, watching it make money for you. But I'm talking about from a perspective of setting up or changing settings.
Less than 5 minutes a day.
Less than 5 minutes a day.
If that's actually just to because I've got all my presets already set up. So
yes.
If I'm doing 0.4 gold that day, if I'm doing 0.6 starting lots, then I have those already set up. and then I'll just put them on, and then it's under a minute. So it's actually take it off, put it on, it's under a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So let's just go to the calculator. Let me pull up a calculator. So you say let's call it 3 minutes a day, and there's 21 trading days, so it's 63 minutes. So it's just over an hour a month, passive income basically. The rest of the time is, would you say, is spent just watching your phone, checking you're making profit, checking
exactly,
just trading in a safe environment.
I don't even look at it in terms of that, because it closes off by itself. Now with the new Forex strategy, because I can spend a little bit more time per day, closing off trades that are in profit, and looking at the charts, and then putting in those bigger lot trades.
Right.
I will do it more often, but then again, my account size is probably going to increase, and my profit's going to increase because I'm spending more time doing that.
Yeah. So what would you say to potential investors that were skeptical about this program?
Well, the biggest thing for me, if I look at, I've had various forays into trading and various different instruments over the last 10 years. The last 2 years, I've spent a lot more time on it. For my sins, I was in the events and festival industry. So obviously with COVID hitting, I was forced to take it more seriously, and then started trading oil when things went negative in the middle of COVID. So caught a bit of a lucky break with that, and started to get a bit of a feel for trading. But I got to the point where I was just so inconsistent with it. So I'd have these big winning periods and then very, very lean periods. And I was looking to find something that would optimize on a more consistent basis. So even if they weren't these blow up amazing days and weeks, something that I could see a graph consistently trending. And I wasn't sure I'd be able to find that. And then when I came across your system, the whole idea of automation really made sense. Removing the emotion from the trade, essentially. So still following a system, but being able to execute automatically was really, really interesting to me. So I was very, very skeptical, as you would be. Particularly also, I had no prior experience with Forex. And I always looked at Forex as a little bit of a shady thing, just because there are so many Forex scams around. Forex scams and Bitcoin scams are, there are a lot of them. But for me, the biggest thing was knowing that being your client, but then going through a third party like FBS, who's internationally renowned, they're essentially holding your money. That already moved the skepticism of, okay, I'm putting this into someone who's managing my money, because I've got no interest in doing that. Right. So that was really, okay, cool. I'll be willing to give it a go. Started on $1,000. Already saw that I was going to be doing the 10 to 15% per month. And then after a month and a half, we thought, it's time to up it. So brought the account up to $6,000 in October, and we're sitting on 10,000, and I've withdrawn 300 just to cover ongoing
expenses or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then now in the next week or two, going to be upping that by another 15,000 to take the account to $25,000.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So what would you say to clients that see my video and are skeptical? What advice would you give them?
My advice is, there's honestly nothing to be skeptical about if you're following the process. I have seen people who, again, don't take the time to read the material, and they don't take the time to actually understand what's going on. Yeah. And they inevitably see everything working on a 0.01 lot, and then they get lucky essentially in their first week, because they don't see any type of drawdown. They only see blue trades happening. So they think, okay, well, this is how it's going to be all the time. So they turn the wick up on the system, and then they find themselves getting to a position which they're uncomfortable with, because they haven't understood how leverage works, how those things work. And it's not that difficult to understand if you go through all the material.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. So that's a good point that I'd like to raise. So when you got started, you didn't know anything really about Forex, probably not about FPS or MetaTrader 4. How long did it take you to set up and start trading from paying to start making
yes,
profit in the first trade?
So from the setup, I mean, it was within the first day, and because we were set up on the low lot sizes, I could set that up and allow the system to start trading whilst I was reading the material and understanding everything. So you're kind of learning as you immediately initiate the system. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely.
So it gives you a good idea right there and then how it's working.
Okay.
It actually happening. And
So we were paying you to learn the material, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just such a wealth of material. I mean, Alan, you know, the amount of videos and the time that we've taken to actually put these videos together is quite remarkable.
Thank you.
And also with the trading group and you've got really experienced traders and people who understand the system and have used it for a long time who contribute on the group. And it's something that I try to do as much as possible, just because I know how much it helped me in the beginning. So
yes. Thank you for that. I think the mentorship and the mastermind sessions and the value that you get on the Telegram of the more experienced traders giving their opinions of what they're doing.
It's a huge bonus, you know. And I've also seen it. You know, there's so many forums that you can get onto, with all kinds of other trading platforms. You know, TradingView, all these things, but number one, I find them also, they can be very toxic environments. You also can't verify if these are real people actually communicating this, and it's such biased advice that goes on there, or recommendations. So I find it's so nice to have a sounding board of people who are using our system. I'll call it our system because it feels like that. It feels like a community.
Absolutely.
You know, and everyone's there to help you. You know? There are no stupid questions. You can come in there and say, listen, guys, I've done this, I've made this mistake, and you know, there isn't any judgment or someone telling you why did you do that. You know, and I
think when you do make that mistake, I think you'll also find that there's a lot of people that have made the exact same mistake as you, and they generally say, rookie mistake, also did that, this is what I suffered, this is the fix.
Exactly, and you see people with, you know, with huge accounts having made mistakes on their way up that are seasoned traders. So I found that's really nice to actually be part of a community that actually works. And then I'll also just touch on the idea with Forex. You know, the fact that we trading major currency pairs. And I'll go into the hedge on the gold side just now, but the fact that this is what I didn't understand about Forex and major pairs is essentially, if your risk management is done correctly, you never actually, there's 99% chance that you're never actually risking that money. It's going to return back to itself.
Exactly.
Which I didn't know that was a benefit of Forex because I've just never touched it before. So, you know, I was trading DAX or trading oil where there's a potential for it to drop $30, $40 in oil and not return for years.
Exactly.
You know, that's
so in Forex we call that the average mean. So the price normally retreats back to its average, which is quite interesting, especially if you're want to trade Forex consistently. We know that is what's going to happen.
Yeah, and also, you know, understanding the moving averages and how price interacts with that. I mean, I'd always used moving averages or had an idea of moving averages before, but I mean, just watching, Alan, how you explain the moving averages and how effective they are at predicting the price, and understanding.
Has that affected the way you trade your commodities or oil?
I've actually, since I've been here, I've not been trading oil at all.
Okay. So what do you think of that free Forex course that I give to my clients? And
it's incredible. And like I said, you know, there's such a wealth of material. You know, I think a lot of people get lazy when they don't want to. I can't understand why, when people don't want to learn more. They kind of want to just hope that this magic system works in the background and sorts of.
I think that's just people. People want And that's why they get caught and they get into trouble. And they by these scammers, where they offer these ridiculous return on investments of like 100% per month or 200% in 3 days.
Exactly.
And they just want that. That's not a trading mentality. That is a gambler's mindset. And this isn't a place for gamblers. This is where I'm going to teach you and I'm going to mentor you how to trade with a robot and how to read an instrument so that you are independent from ever utilizing an institution ever again. This is about me helping you to become independent. That's what I'm giving to the Forex, this industry.
And that's exactly the motivation for trading. You know, I think the world has moved so much away from traditional businesses. You know, I've run traditional businesses, and you know, just the whole idea, you know, the whole process to get a rand back is, you know, it's doing the work, invoicing, waiting for that, the time cost, waiting for that, you know, all the external factors that you have that are in your way to getting a business successful. I mean, if you take $1 million rand to go and start a business today, I don't know what you can start for that, and the risk you take in doing that is insane.
Well, they say that 95% or 80 to 95% of people that start a business don't have that business in the first 5 years. And in the next 5 years, they reckon that another 80% of those people that survived the first 5 years aren't in business in the next 5 years.
Exactly.
So you've got like a less than 2% chance of becoming successful in like owning your own business. You've really got to know what you're doing.
And not only that, I mean, for your South African clients, you know, now you've got all of that money stuck in rands that you.
Yeah, exactly. This at least is a hedge against the rand.
Exactly. So you know, it's in a hard currency, and you know that's for me, it's all about freedom. You know, I don't want to. I want to be in a business where I've got my laptop and I'm connected to internet. I can go anywhere in the world, and I can make real money doing.
What do you do for a living?
I've got an events business, so we do.
So you're still doing it?
Yeah, so we've obviously taken 2-year hiatus, but we're starting that now. But I mean, any money that I make from that's going straight into to be honest.
So this is basically your retirement annuity?
No, I mean, I'm looking to do this on a full-time basis. So,
okay.
You know, once I get my accounts up to a big enough amount, and you know, it's also the thing with compounding now. The difficult part is I'm seeing how the compounding is working on the account. So the idea of withdrawing any money is not what I want to do, just because I know how much value is in that compounding. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, Einstein says the people that don't understand compound interest pay it. The people that do understand it earn it.
That's true. It's so true. And you know, you were told as a kid the value of compounding and saving, but you could never really see it.
No.
And that's the beautiful thing.
I think also if you put $100 in the bank, okay, and you're earning a compound interest of 2 cents a year,
it's not very exciting.
It's not very exciting. Okay, when you deal with $1,000 or $10,000 and like you've made here $3,670, okay, in the space of 5 months, it's unheard of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unheard of. Well, well done, man.
I haven't had sleepless nights. I've maybe had 1 or 2 when I've been trading gold, just because I've not really understood how the hedge and the benefits of that. I mean, I've understood it, but it's still a daunting.
Yeah, it's a different mindset, which is what I teach you on my mentorship calls, and also on you know, I've got those Zoom calls that I do that are recorded on my website that will help you to.
I would also say that, you know, anybody that when those Zoom calls come up, jump on them, because you know there's so many like golden nuggets that are, for lack of a better term, that are there. You know, for 30-40 minutes, it can change weeks for you. It can change months for you.
Yeah, I think that's what it's there for. It's there to collapse timeframes. So instead of getting a 64% return a year, you could probably times 2 that or times 3 that, and you know, get to the 180 250, 300% per year mark.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I'm aiming for a sort of year to date, sort of October to next year. I'm aiming for over 300%. That's
your goal. Yeah. Just be conservative.
Yeah.
Don't be too rambunctious with your lot sizes. Treat this as a business. Treat it as, real money, and it's easy not to because you're not physically touching the money. It's funny because, people spend money with that credit card. So it's 1,000 Rand, you'll spend the credit card, but when you need to take out 1,000 Rand in cash, you're a little bit more conservative. So just remember to be conservative, bud.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping mine quite conservative at this point.
Yeah,
it sounds crazy when you're looking at essentially a 3-month return of 65%, and you're saying you're being conservative. It kind of sounds counterintuitive, but it is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thanks very much, buddy. Keep on doing what you're doing, and I want to see that testimonial in a year. It's another 5 months. I want to see what you're able to do.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Alan.
Much appreciated. Okay. Cheers. So there you have it, Matt, a client that's been with me for 5 months, making over 64% at the moment. And if you want to make that type of result, click on the fill in the form right now. Click on the Get Access button. Go and check out what we're doing. Hit the buy button, and let's get you started, and let's help you to make some passive income where you too can be spending less than 60 minutes a month and exponentially grow your account. Fill in the form now, and I'll see you on my website.